Dealing with the empty nest syndrome and the fine art of letting go. My name is Deborah Cox Howard, and I'm a therapist at Counseling and Psych Services here at the University of Arizona. One of the first things that I would like to encourage you to do is to check on your friends who are sending kids off to college for the first time. They are okay, not okay, happy, sad, excited, terrified, thrilled, worried, confused, calm, looking forward, looking back, ready and not ready. And that's just in the last 10 minutes. What is empty nest syndrome? Empty nest syndrome refers to feelings of sadness and/or grief experienced by parents and caretakers after their children have come of age and leave their childhood home. It is a form of separation stress or emotional loss. My focus will be on when children leave home to attend college. While both men and women may experience feelings of empty nest syndrome, occurrence is more common in women. Of note, more mothers work these days and therefore have less of a feeling of emptiness when their children leave home. What are symptoms of empty nest syndrome? There may be tearfulness, sadness, and feelings of grief and loss. Remember, monitor your feelings and reactions as well as their duration. If you notice that you are feeling that your quote unquote useful life has ended, if you are crying excessively or so sad that you don't want to spend time with friends or go to work, you should consider seeking professional help. What are some of the causes of empty nest syndrome? Recent research suggests that the quality of the parent-child relationship may have important consequences for children and their parents throughout their lives. For example, parents gain the greatest psychological benefit from the transition to an empty nest when they have developed and maintained good relationships with their children. Women who are at the stage in life where their children are leaving may also be dealing with other major life changes, such as entering into menopause or trying to cope with increasingly dependent elderly parents. Conflict or detachment in the parent-child relationship when the child is still living at home may contribute to continued quote-unquote distancing of the relationship when the child leaves home. Parents and caretakers who spent years giving all their time to their children find themselves with little to do once their child leaves home. Of note, when your child has been away at college for a month or so, you may experience mixed emotions related to empty nest syndrome. On one hand, you are excited that your child is experiencing new activities and is becoming more independent. On the other hand, you are sad because you miss having him or her around on a daily basis. When feelings of empty nest syndrome take over your life, you are unable to function as you normally would. This is not fair. Consider alleviating these problems in the following ways. Buy phone cards and send them to your son or daughter. Schedule a weekly chat with each other on the phone. Send care packages. Include things that your son or daughter would not buy for themselves. Volunteer, take a class, find a new hobby, or pick up an old one. Take a trip with your spouse, partner, or best friend. Your son or daughter is experiencing a different place. Why not take the opportunity to do the same? Make use of the space. Although you don't want to make your son or daughter feel as though you are pushing them out, make plans for their room. Send an IM, text, or email containing words of encouragement and support to your son or daughter on a weekly basis. Here are 5 tips for helping parents to let go when their son or daughter goes off to college. Of note, Sending a child to college can cause intense feelings and emotions for some parents. In order to help you to learn to let go, remember that it is important to take comfort in the fact that your son or daughter still needs you, just in a different way. Number 1, be a good listener. Unless your son or daughter asks for your advice, for example, in regard to roommates, classmates, professors, etc., do not respond with what you think he or she should do. Make an extra effort to lend a sympathetic ear. Number 2, encourage problem solving. Once your son or daughter has explained a particular problem or situation and they ask for advice, ask open-ended questions that will assist in initiating more discussion and help them to come to a decision about what they should do. Number 3, find time to connect. In order to establish an adult relationship with your son or daughter, it is important to stay in touch. Try to set up a time each week to talk on the phone. Talk about the news, class discussions, etc. Having mature conversations with your son or daughter is key to not only staying connected to them as a parent, but they may also consider you a friend. Provide support. Simple gestures are the best way of providing support to your college student. Even though you are not physically with them, sending a care package, cards, letters, etc. Let them know that you were thinking about them. Trust your college student. Even though you may want your son or daughter to make certain decisions, they may want something completely different from what you want. Allow yourself to trust that your son or daughter is making the right decision for themselves. By doing so, even though you may not agree with their choices, you are showing that you respect their decision. Here are some suggested readings. You're on your own, but I'm here to help if you need me. Mentoring your child during the college years. Don't tell me what to do, just send money. The Essential Parenting Guide to the College Years. When Kids Go to College, a Parent's Guide to a Changing Relationship. Letting Go, the 5th edition, a Parent's Guide to Understanding the College Years. Helping Your First Year College Students Succeed, a Guide for Parents. And 133 Ways to Avoid Going Cuckoo When the Kids Fly the Nest, a Parent's Guide for Surviving the Empty Nest Syndrome. Additional tips for parents of international students, and this can apply to students in this country as well. Choose a means of communication. Decide on 1 or 2 systems, Facebook, Skype, etc., and prioritize when you will check for new messages. Agree on a time to talk. Choosing a time together will allow you and your student to set expectations as to when and how often you will communicate. Discuss budgeting. Set limits on spending and decide on a budget before your student leaves for school. Be supportive. Living and studying in a different country can be challenging for both you and your student. Do your best to provide emotional support and creative problem solving. Another resource is to check out the Paw Print, which is a monthly online newsletter by Parent and Family Programs. It can be found at uafamily.arizona.edu/newsletter. Counseling and Psych Services. Visit us on the web, www.health.arizona.edu, or you can check out our Parents Matter website at parentsmatter.health.arizona.edu. Going to college during a pandemic. I wanted to point out 2 very important websites because we have updates that are coming regularly and daily in some instances, and there is a plethora of information. The first one is covid19.arizona.edu. The second one is covid-19.arizona.edu/campus life. That gives you information about what we are doing at the University of Arizona during this challenging time. Congratulate yourself. Although the job of being a parent is never done, you have reached an important goal. You have raised an independent young adult, which is no easy task. Give yourself a pat on the back for a job well done. Oh, one more thing. Please don't forget. Canine and feline empty nest syndrome, otherwise known as separation anxiety. Parents aren't the only ones who get sad when students head off to college. 1 in 6 dogs suffers from separation anxiety. Dogs are pack animals, and when a member of their pack leaves, this can be stressful for them. Cats are often misrepresented as not needing companionship. This is actually not true. They form strong bonds with human family members. They are fine with the comings and goings of day-to-day life, but when there is a shift and a family member doesn't come home for an extended period of time, they can experience anxiety. What are some of the symptoms? Frequent whining, meowing, or barking, destructive behavior, refusing to eat, scratching at the door, and for cats, excessive grooming. How do you alleviate this? Establish a new routine, increase exercise, and give your dog or cat challenging puzzles or toys.